So there's a concept called SWP. Like people are very fascinated about it. So can you tell what it is and like should we go with it or like what?
See, to be brutally honest, it is being propagated by the or promoted by the mutual fund industry because
Hmm.
think about it this way. A lot of people are retiring, right? Especially in the tech sector, people, anybody above 45, they're going to retire anytime soon, right? And if they've been working in that job for 20 years, let's say, they will have a corpus of a few crores easily. There are many crores in India. Although you see people cribbing, I am a common man. Government is not doing anything for me. Lot of cribbing, but I personally know more than I would say 300, 400 crore. Lot of crores, and some of them do call themselves common man, which is atrocious. Uh, so, uh, so this money is the mutual fund wants to target this money. They want to target retirement planning. Now they have the mutual fund Sahi Hai campaign has now worked for the SIP part. The
Hmm.
accumulation phase has done wonders. The AUM growth is very good. Now the next step is to focus on the retiree money. Right,
Hmm.
you take this chunk and you put it into a equity fund or any other fund, balanced advantage, whatever kind of fund, and then the guy selling the fund will get a trail commission on that. And right, you're going to take and you're going to withdraw systematically from that, and you're going to say you can do all sorts of back testing and say I put in 1 crore 20 years ago in spite of the 2008 market crash, in spite of the 2020 market crash. Look, my final corpus is higher, even though I kept withdrawing this
Yeah,
much
that
money.
is the match. Like they,
I mean, I can also do this math.
that is the
There is
sales pitch. Yeah,
yeah.
that's why like, it is so lucrative.
It is very dangerous. First of all, it is very dangerous to withdraw from a volatile product, right?
Hmm.
If you are going to withdraw from a volatile product and if that product encounters a series of bad returns, you're going to draw more and more of the corpus, right? And you're going to run out of that money soon. This is a big risk. SWP is absolutely fine. Of course, there's no need for an SWP or there's no need for an SIP. It will take exactly 45 seconds to 60 seconds to invest in a mutual fund or redeem from a mutual fund. If people don't have the discipline to invest regularly, spending this much time, they don't deserve any wealth. People say SIP brings you discipline. SIP is not has nothing to do with discipline. SIP is just automation. You must have the discipline. A product cannot or a method of investing cannot make you discipline. Similarly, there's no need for an SWP. You want the money, redeem it. You're going to get it in 2 days. So you adjust your redemptions. Why do you need to set up an SWP?
Yeah, I think I think a very similar thing that I heard very recently is I think in US they have a lot of these things. Whenever you buy a coffee, the last few cents they will put it in the stock. So if you buy a coffee for let's say $2.80, so they'll put a 20 cent in the stock market for you, and and then they propagate like people don't have the discipline, and so whenever you're spending the last 5 cent 10 cent they're automatically putting in. I'm just thinking like, why at the end of the month why can't they just put like $1,000 or 2,000 whatever, like, and I think the same thing is slowly coming to India as well. A lot of these fintech companies will slowly come out with these products where with UPI whatever the last few
Uh,
rupees they will start investing every 1 rupee 2 rupee. I think
Oh.
that is another.
But conceptually it is good. Like,
No, see, it attracts people. I agree that it attracts people. But I'm saying if you actually look at the logic, a product or a method of investing can't make me disciplined. Discipline is
right.
something else, right? And so I'm saying you don't need an SIP or an SWP. If I want money, actually, let's say I take 1 crore and I put it in, let's say, a liquid fund and I'm going to
That's what
manage.
I'm saying. Like, can we simplify it a bit more so that everybody can understand using numbers? What is the
So,
sales pitch first? Let's say what people say is like if you invest 1 CR and then because you'll get like 12% return, and even if you keep on, withdrawing 10,000 rupees or 70,000 rupees every single month. So the math goes ki after even like 10 years, you'll have the more corpus than what you started with.
see,
And what is the reality like? Can we
that is
take the
absolutely
examples?
because you're not going to get 12% every year. The markets are
Yes.
going to fluctuate.
So can you
And you,
quantify so that at least people can understand? Because
um,
when you take
if
the
you
numbers, it is easy for them
if
to
I look out the graph,
comprehend.
See, the thing is very simple. That 12%, anybody who has been in the market for 3-4 years even will know that you're not going to get 12% every year.
Right.
Even in the last 2 years or so, it was less than that. It was just like 1% or so. So during those poor periods, you're going to withdraw more. Your corpus is going to come down. So eventually, if you hit a poor sequence of returns, especially in the first few years of your withdrawal phase, then the corpus will fall down much faster. It will get depleted faster. The simplest way to do SIP, if at all you want to do an SIP, is put that money or take part of your money and put it in a liquid fund or a money market fund where the NAV will not fluctuate too much. It's a very simple almost a linear growth. Then you can happily do a standard SIP of pulling out 30,000 rupees every month or whatever, how much ever money you want, or units or whatever. Then you put some part of your corpus in your balanced advantage fund or equity fund or whatever kind of so-called aggressive funds, and you use it for discretionary expenses. Let's say I want to take a holiday and the market has done well, then I pull money out of it. That's entirely discretionary. I don't pull out every year. I pull out when I can afford to pull out. Whereas the money market fund or the NAV liquid fund, that I can use it for regular expenses. I can set up an SWP there for regular expenses and use other kind of products which take more risk for occasional expenses.
Right. I think another way to put it is would basically and that's how I feel is a good way, that you divide your money into two buckets. One is a cushion, and then everything above that is kind of the riskier asset, right? And then whenever you SWP is running, but on the where on your cushion, which is like whatever 2 year, 3 year, a decent amount of cushion. And then whenever you feel that the riskier asset has given you a very good return, you basically pull in some money and put it in your whatever, the liquid or that kind of fund, in your cushion.
Yeah.
That would be a slightly better approach than trying to pull out money continuously out of the riskier fund.
Yes, and the sad part is senior citizens with not much of a corpus, they're being targeted for this kind of an SWP sale. And that is very dangerous because they would not have the capital market experience.
Yes.
At least if you say I've been investing in mutual funds for 20 years before retirement, you might have seen a few bad years and it gives you some kind of knowledge. But as a guy who has been in 100% fixed income suddenly retires and says I don't have enough money, so these guys recommend putting it in a balanced advantage fund or an aggressive hybrid fund. That's very risky, very dangerous.